Wireless providers are speaking out, saying new rules over smartphones from the CRTC have created more thefts in their stores. Tyler Orton of Business in Vancouver is joining us now with more on this. And Tyler, this is all about unlocked phones, isn't it?
Yeah, very interesting submission that two of the big telecom companies submitted to the CRTC. Essentially, Rogers and Bell are saying that new rules introduced last year that mandate that smartphones must be unlocked for free and future smartphones must be unlocked going forward for sales. It's generated interest from thieves. In fact, Bell says that they've seen an increase in armed robberies at their stores that are targeting these devices. Rogers, they haven't mentioned anything about armed robberies in their submission, but they have said that they've witnessed a 100% increase in missing devices since these new rules were introduced. It's worth noting here that these are concerns that the telcos had actually brought up in their submissions, fighting against the introduction of unlocked plans going forward in Canada. So, you have to look at the veracity of these claims because they're actually kind of sparse on details and something that seems to be, I guess, so concerning for the companies. But it is quite fascinating that they even seem to be applying that Canada's even being targeted by, say, Americans coming up here to snatch up some of these unlocked phones, because most phones in the United States, they do remain unlocked by their providers down there.
Interesting. All right. And switching over to some news from the streaming industry when it comes to Netflix or Amazon. I understand that they are releasing some interesting information about our behaviors when it comes to passwords.
Yeah, and it looks as if, well, millennials really like to share their passwords. This is according to some research information provided to CNBC by the Magid Group, a research firm down in the United States. And if you break down the numbers, you can see that when it comes to millennials, 35% of them, more than a third, like to share passwords. Compare that to Gen Xers, where it's just 19%, and then baby boomers, where it's 13%. So it's a huge difference between the generations here. The issue, though, is that it means that these streaming providers like Netflix, Hulu, Amazon Prime Video, they're missing out on substantial amounts of money because of password sharing. And it appears that Netflix is actually experimenting right now with generating more interest in the content to keep people hooked, because we have a new report out from Ars Technica that reveals that Netflix is actually testing out possible ads starting this week for certain users. But it's not necessarily ads for products. It's actually ads for content, other shows that you could be watching on Netflix. Like I said, they really do want to sink their hooks into people, keep them coming back for a lot of Netflix, keep them binging for as long as possible.
Tyler Orton with Business in Vancouver on this Monday morning. Tyler, thank you.
Thank you, Tanya.